Hey everybody, it's me, Andy. Your new course in the field of neuroinformatics, or more generally in computational neuroscience, is starting soon. And you're probably already excited, right? Great, because it's going to be awesome. In this video, I'll give you a pretty general overview about neurodynamics from my own personal point of view. I want to show you which questions you are about to encounter and give you a hint at the tools and methods you're going to use in order to tackle those questions. Additionally, at the end of this video, I will offer you some food for thought so that you can jump right into the subject, if you want to. So, let's get started. Neurodynamics will mainly focus on this little fellow, a single neuron. In particular, the course will have a closer look into the properties of neurons. You're probably used to putting on your biology or chemistry goggles and then describe, with the terminology of those two fields, how neurons behave and react to their environment. Neurodynamics is taking the next step, abstracting the behavior of a neuron and describing it mathematically. So, be prepared to discover the secrets behind the computations carried out by each of your billions of tiny biological computers. For example, how comes that a neuron can receive the exact same input but respond differently each time? How is this graph even possible? I mean, a neuron getting fired by a hyperpolarizing current? Seriously? Hyperpolarizing current? And as you can see, why on earth did everybody lie to you about the firing threshold, although there is not a single firing threshold in a neuron? Well, okay, maybe we can't tell you why those people lied to you, but we will at least show you that a neuron does not have a single value for its membrane potential in order to know when to start generating an action potential. Turns out, everything is much more, well, dynamical. So, let's have a look at how you're going to deal with this dynamical beast of a neuron. First, you're going to study models of a neuron. More specifically, you're going to have a look at how people model the generation of an action potential. Because, you know, that's mainly what neurons do and what is interesting about them, right? After that, you will examine those creations and explore their computational properties. So, the scheme of this course is to first construct and then examine models of a neuron using the magic of mathematics. What do I mean by a model of a neuron? Well, basically, it's a description of the properties of a neuron as well as the input it receives. And since people want to study this description, they use the language of mathematics. If you know the neuron and the input it receives, you're going to be able to predict at which points in time this neuron will elicit a spike. So, two tasks: describing and predicting. What? How does such a mathematical description look like? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here is one possible model. I won't go into the details since this is only an introduction. But if you're interested, the food for thought section at the end of this video will involve this basic description of spike generation. Of course, you should not start with everything at the same time. So let's focus, for the moment, on the description of spike generation. In order to be able to describe anything, you need to have a pretty good idea about it. By that logic, if you want to describe spike generation in mathematical terms, you should feel comfortable describing it in terms of, say, biology or chemistry. But that goes beyond this introduction. Thanks for watching, leave a comment, and I'll see you soon. You've seen this leaky integrate and fire model already. In order to get a more intuitive feeling for mathematical models in general, you can do the following. Look at each term in each of the two lines of this model. Using your normal, natural language, what do you think does each term of this model represent? What is the meaning of E league minus V of t? What could I of t stand for? After that, ask yourself what each of the two lines of this model is representing. Again, try to explain it with natural language. If you want to go even further, here's a second interesting thing to think about. On the left-hand side of the first equation is a differential involving v of t. Interestingly, v of t is also part of the right-hand side of this equation. What kind of behavior would you expect if the derivative of v of t is given in terms of some function of v of t? If you'd like some comments, you're invited to send me your answers. You'll find the email address in the description of this video. So, happy thinking!